Hello Internet, I hope everyone is being safe during these harsh times and doing as best as we all can. Now today's speed paint, yes this is a speed paint, and there's a specific reason for this speed paint, as the sketch you can see where it's just a simple black lines are actually made by Jazza from, as many people might know, Draw with Jazza, as he opened his subreddit in a recent video and gave a kind of like a competition type of thing. Now I wasn't really sure about entering it at first, but then I kind of saw the whole idea of it, and I really liked the idea of trying to finish an illustration from random like shapes and lines. So that's the main reason I started to participate. It seemed like a very good exercise to kind of like enhance your art skills and your creative thinking skills, and I found this incredibly fun, and I ended up coming up with a ton of different ideas and then ended up with the final idea, as you can see with all my sketches and my trial and error, that I really liked and would not have expected to get. I struggled for a while trying to figure out how I could make certain details, as I wanted a landscape and I wanted to make it more difficult for myself. I didn't want to rotate it or do anything that would mess with the lines or anything like that. I wanted to make it a whole illustrative landscape piece, and I wanted to make it as magical and weird as possible, with a colour scheme that would make you smile when you saw how nice it was. I guess it would be kind of like colours that would make you smile and just make you feel warm and bubbly inside. I did come up with a really interesting way of doing it by turning the obviously shaped eyes into a bunch of roses, which I really liked, but in the end I didn't know what to do with the flowers, and I kept going back and forth trying to think of something I'd like, until I came up with my final design of towers peeking up through these lovely swirly clouds, and living within those towers are these weird serpent flamingo bird headed things. I don't know what they are. I want to do a whole character sheet on them though, because they look really, really cool. And imagine just like flying on one. They can just fly. Maybe they'd be made out of like, they'd have like those slick feathers, so they could glide through the air and kind of slide into the large towers that are in the sky with ease. So once I had my final idea, and I kind of ended up getting a bit of a fantasy story vibe with it, I really got into this. It made me, it's amazing how like just simple idea would get you enhanced to just draw something you never thought you would have, or something you wouldn't have thought of, and it was really enjoyable, and I want to do more in this world I've suddenly created with clouds and towers and strange bird snakes that fly. And they're just so cute. I ended up going for more of a flamingo-y type of vibe. I'm not sure why. I instantly wanted pink, which is strange for me, but I wanted pink for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I also wanted it to be like a gorgeous setted sunset sky thing, maybe. Hopefully. And I tried thinking of ways to make all the colours stand out and not clash, and I found the best way to do this, no matter what digital platform you're using, whether it's Procreate, Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, just getting one layer on top of all the others, filling it black, and then making it a saturation layer. It gives you like a grayscale effect. And it's really good for keeping an eye on the colours that you're using and making sure nothing blends too much, so it's very appealing to the eye of the viewer. And also it's a good way of just like making sure you're upping your colour game whenever you're like designing something, especially if it involves a lot of colour, to like kind of bring the mood up, like how you can see here I've got the pink clouds and obviously there's a slightly pinker sky, but the towers themselves are like a dark turquoise, which contrasts nicely, and obviously the flamingos I've turned into a nice cream to kind of bounce off the pink, and trying my hardest to just make it very warm, inviting, magical, otherworldly in a sense, kind of like cotton candy clouds. What lives in the cotton candy clouds? And now I want cotton candy, so I'm sorry if I've made anyone want cotton candy. I do too. We're in this together now. When coming to like all the different shadings and stuff and how I wanted it to be, it was kind of difficult. I did it a few different times, as well as changing up the colours quite a bit, just to test out if I could get any more like atmosphere and mood. I did add some texture with the buildings just so they'd stand out more, because everything started to look a little bit too flat for me, even with all the shading. So that's always something good to consider. But then the sky just seemed far too flat once again, so I ended up doing a kind of Milky Way type of design, but it looked like too much detail for a background. So I ended up doing the swirly idea. I don't know, it looks really cute. So anyway, here is my end product. I really like how this turned out, and now I have a bazillion ideas on what I can do with this idea, and I am going to submit it on the subreddit because I like the way it looks. I'm going to leave a link to the subreddit down below, and I recommend, I think by the time this video goes up that the competition will have ended, but I recommend just kind of doing this kind of test for yourself, where getting a bunch of random lines or shapes and trying to create an illustration from them. It's just a really good exercise, and I definitely plan on doing more of it, especially when having art block, because just getting out of your comfort zone and just mindlessly doodling around other lines and shapes was just very, very helpful and very, very fun. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. Enjoy. My other speed paints and playlists will be in the end card, and I hope everyone stays safe, and make sure to wash your hands. These times can be quite hard for everyone. Try not to get cabin fever. I've been spending a lot of time in my back garden with my precious doggo, so it might not be the lovely forests that I like to go to, but it's close enough for now.